I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not fucking scared of nobody. I look crazy right now. I'm not scared of nobody. And he fucking put his hand on me. Blood was literally gushing out. I will put pictures in this video for you guys to see what my leg looked like. Hey y'all, so I don't even know how to start off this freaking video. It's just been on my mind to do this freaking little, I guess, story time or whatever, and tell you guys what has been going on with me. I don't even want to start crying. I'm gonna try not to start crying because I really don't want to cry. I don't want to mess with my makeup. But just telling you guys what's going on with me. You guys can already see the title, so you guys already kind of have like an idea of what's going on. So this is just gonna be, I guess, my story about domestic violence, what happened to me. Okay, so I guess I should just start off with who it was, how we know each other, and just stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I feel like I might start crying in this video, and I really just don't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna just give background before I go into the story. So me and my boyfriend of 8 years, I actually moved in with him. We met when I was 13. We met when he was 15. We met on his birthday, 4th of July, at the fair. And we dated for maybe about a few months. Found out he was cheating on me. I broke up with him. I moved like to his area or whatever when I was like 15. We got back together. We were dating and stuff like that. I'm in college. Like, fast forwarding, I'm in college. It's my junior year, like spring junior year. Like, I start getting depressed and stuff like that. I don't know what I want to do when it comes to school and stuff like that. I'm doing YouTube, and I'm like, okay, I'm also a makeup artist. I had got my certificate and everything, and I was like, I want to focus on being a makeup artist and also focus on YouTube. And I've been doing that since I left school. So that's when I moved in with him, basically, because I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel stuck being in school. So I moved in with him. It's been forever since I did a story time. So yeah, I moved in with him and everything. Like, before we even moved in together, we were already kind of on bad terms. Like, we weren't together, for one. He was trying to get back with me. I was talking to someone else, and he knew that. But I don't know, it's just like, when it's someone that you love and they're blowing up your phone and stuff like that, you're just like, damn, I miss you. So like, me and him were talking, like, we spent Valentine's Day together and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of how we started talking again. Like, he was hitting me up and stuff like that, saying he missed me and stuff, and I was like, damn, I miss this boy kind of too. So yeah, we were broken up for like maybe about 4 months, got back together, went to Vegas together. Then in April, I moved in with him. Things were okay in the beginning, but the thing I didn't like is the fact that he was always in the house, like, playing video games all the time. Like, he wasn't working, he had quit his job. So maybe for about 5 months he didn't have a job. It was just annoying. Like, it's just like, he said he wanted to do music, and I didn't see him like pushing for his goals. He was always just playing video games and blasting other people's music. Like, that could be you. Someone else could be sitting around blasting your music, and you're making money off of that. But that's besides the point of the video. I'm just trying to give you guys background. I know I'm kind of like going all over the place. But yeah, so I was living with him and all that. Things were starting to get bad. Like, we had our first cat together. I have another cat now. We had our first cat together. He ended up passing away. So with him passing, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about my baby. So he passed away, and we just had so many vet bills. Like, it seemed, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying. It seemed like every time we took him to 3 vets, it seemed like every time it came time to sign the papers for the bills, I was always the one signing it. He would just like dip off somewhere, and I was stuck signing it. So we had like $1,000 in vet bills. Before that, I was even working. All of this will make sense. This is why I'm saying this. Okay, so I wasn't working and stuff like that too, because I was waiting for this new job that I had got to hire me. So I was at home for like basically a month waiting for them to hire me. So when my cat passed away, I was already like broke pretty much, emptying out my bank account, maxing out my credit cards just to take care of this cat, to make sure he was good. And I don't regret it for anything, but it's just like, I was so broke, and it's just like, it's basically like being $1,000 in debt. It's just like, you know, who, like a lot of people my age don't just have $1,000 just sitting around to be paying. So it took a huge toll on me. So me and my boyfriend at the time, we were kind of already on bad terms or whatever, but me having to pay so much for vet bills and stuff like that, I was broke. Like, I didn't have money for rent. Like, I was staying there with him and his dad. When I first moved in, I was paying rent and all of that, but I was so broke, and I'm still recovering from that right now. Like, right now I live with my dad, and I'm still recovering from all of that. Like, I have a good paying job now, so it's helping a lot more, but it's just like, I was still living with him. Okay, so this will, I guess right now this will all make sense. So I was still living with my ex-boyfriend, even though we were on bad terms. Like, we were arguing a lot, and it was just at the point where I'm just like, I don't want to be here. Like, I felt stuck, and I'm just like, the only reason I'm still here is because I'm not paying rent right now, because I didn't have the money for rent, like if I wanted to go somewhere else. Like, so I was still staying with him and everything, and like I knew I should have moved. Like, one of my friends, she offered to let me live with her, and like the rent wasn't going to be a crazy amount, but I'm just like, still, like, I don't just, like, it wasn't a crazy amount, but I'm like, I don't have that money still. So I was still living with my ex or whatever, and we were always arguing, like, always arguing. And it was just bad. Like, it was bad to the point where we both came to the agreement that I should leave. Like, he started, like, we would argue and stuff like that, and he would just beg me, like, Mahogany, please leave. And I'm like, I will leave, like, if I had the money. Like, I don't want to be here any more than you want me to be here. Of course, I don't want to stay in someone's space. Like, you guys can call me stupid or whatever in the comments for staying, even though he's asking me to leave. But when you don't have money to do what you, like, to, you know, to just dip out like you want to, like, what else do you do? Like, I'm not going to just be homeless by choice. If you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he was pushing me out of his house and making me leave. He would just say that when we were arguing or whatever. And, like, I think it was like maybe the last month that we lived with each other, I started sleeping in the living room, and it wasn't because we were on bad terms. It's because we had got a new cat. My baby stinks. We got another cat, so having an attachment to my last cat and seeing him pass away, I don't want to lose my other cat. So I started sleeping in the living room with him all the time because he didn't want to have him in the room. So just imagine, like, we're arguing all the time, we're not sleeping in the same bed, we weren't even having sex. Like, living with him, like, we rarely even have sex. Like, it was just such a turn off to me. Like, he just started to become a turn off to me too. Like, I'm not as, like, as time went on, I wasn't as attracted to him too, which is crazy because I used to be very attracted to him. Okay, yeah, so we were already on bad terms. He wanted me to leave and everything. And okay, so let's just jump to the day of the incident when everything happened. So, I wake up in the morning, like, I'm getting ready, doing my makeup for work and stuff. I hear him on the phone with one of his friends, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna meet up with this girl, that girl. They were talking about, like, meeting up with girls and stuff like that. So I'm like, you're meeting up with girls? Like, I'm already not feeling this guy, but it's the fact that we're living together and you're still in my space that makes me still somewhat attracted to you, and you're my boyfriend at that. And it's just like, you're meeting up with females and you're hiding it from me, if you know what I'm saying. So I was asking him, like, after I got done doing my makeup for work, like, I went in the living room and I was like, oh, what are you about to do today? And he was like, I'm about to hang out with some friends. I'm like, who? And let's name his friend. I don't fuck with his friend either, because y'all will see why. His friend Benny. So he was like, I'm about to go hang out with Benny. Hey, Benny, that's a tight ass name. Benny Hannes. Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna hang out with Benny. And I was like, oh, who else? And he was like, some friends or whatever. I was like, oh no, I said, okay. So yeah, he went to go he said he was gonna hang out with Benny. And I'm like, who else are you gonna hang out with? Your little girlfriends or whatever? I was like, are your little girlfriends gonna be there? And he was like, I don't know. And now I know, like, me, like, I used to say that sometimes, like, your little girlfriends or whatever, because he's cheated on me multiple times, so I'm always gonna accuse him of having little girlfriends and stuff like that. But he was just like, I don't know, or whatever. And I'm like, so you're gonna hang out with females? And he was like, yeah, or whatever. And I'm like, why won't you just tell me? And he was just like, because you don't like other females. I'm like, what makes you think I don't like other females? The only other females I've been around is your family and your female best friend. And the reason I don't really have a problem with her, it's just the fact that when she comes to my house, she doesn't speak to me. And this is my house, I live here. And she's around my nigga, so she needs to speak to me. That's just mannerism. Like, I've just always been told, like, if you go into someone else's house, you must speak to them. It's not my job to speak to you. You're in my house and you're around my man. So, anyways, I'm just like, what females are you talking about? I'm gonna give her a name too, even though she's not gonna be in it. But I was gonna say Beverly. Jessica. And I'm like, are you talking about Jessica? Like, if you're saying I don't like other females? And he was like, no, I'm not talking about her. And I'm like, exactly, then who are you talking about? Like, there's nobody else you could possibly be talking about. But anyways, fast forward later on to that night, I get off of work, whatever, I'm home. Him and his friend come home around, I believe, midnight. And then I asked his friend, I was like, oh, were you guys with girls or whatever? And he was just like, why? Like, he was just like trying to cut me off, like, why are you worried about it and stuff like that. It was just us going, like, I was just talking to his friend, like, asking him if they were hanging out with females and stuff like that. He was calling me insecure and stuff like that. And, like, I just started arguing with him, so he was calling me an insecure bitch. I'm like, I'm an insecure bitch? I'm like, how am I insecure? I can get niggas. Like, how the fuck am I insecure? So, we stopped talking or whatever. His friend falls asleep, and I just tell him, I'm like, I told you, like, for the longest, I'm not gonna argue with you anymore. Like, I'm done with arguing. Can we just talk? Like, I just want to talk like two adults. And mind you, like, when I'm saying all of this, like, he's smoking weed. He's like taking a bottle to the neck and stuff like that. So, like, this nigga, he's crossfaded, obviously. And he's the type of person, like, he doesn't even drink like that, but he's been, like, as time was going by, he started drinking more and more. But yeah, so yeah, he had a whole bottle and he was just drinking it or whatever. So I'm like, can we just talk? So I was like, can you please stop drinking? Like, I'm trying to talk to you or whatever. Because, like, the littlest things I was saying to him, like, he would just start laughing and stuff like that. I'm like, can we talk? I'm like, what is so funny? Nothing is funny. I'm trying to have a grown-up conversation with you. And obviously, I'm getting irritated. Like, I'm getting hella irritated because I'm just like, I'm trying to talk to you. Like, why won't you just hear me out? And why the fuck are you laughing? Why are you laughing when I'm just trying to talk to you? Like, I'm getting pissed off. So I go up to him, I move his alcohol, and I take it to the kitchen. I didn't even pour it out. And he was like, why the fuck are you always touching stuff or whatever? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I understand, like, I grabbed the bottle or whatever. I didn't pour it out. I'm like, can I just talk to you? Like, I don't want you to be drinking. Like, I want you to have a clear mind. I'm trying to talk like adults, and it's getting irritating. And me even talking about this stuff is irritating me. Like, that's what used to irritate me about him, because living with him, I would try to just talk things out. I told him I'm not arguing with him anymore. Because once I decided I'm going to be moving out, like, soon, I was like, I'm not arguing anymore. Can we just be cordial? We agreed to be cordial while I was living there. We agreed to be cordial. And, like, every time it seemed like I wanted to just talk things out, he could never take me serious. And that was one issue with me. I'm just like, you can never take me serious when I'm trying to talk to you. Like, you either have to start laughing, you try to flip stuff on me. And I noticed that about guys, they like to flip stuff on you. And, like, to me, that's not cool. I'm like, how are you just gonna flip stuff like that on me? Like, you know, like, I don't know, like, guys are just weird. Like, y'all are some weird creatures. Like, no offense, but to, like, guys that are innocent, don't be doing all of that, but, like, a lot of y'all are some weird creatures. Like, I'm just at the point where I don't even want to be bothered with guys. But yeah, so I'm just talking to him. I'm like, can you stop drinking or whatever? And then, like, we were just going at it because he was calling me an insecure bitch or whatever and stuff like that. So I get in his face, he gets in my face. Next thing I know, you guys, I'm in his face. Oh my gosh, I just scratched myself. Okay, I'm in his face, he's in my face. Next thing I know, I was not expecting this shit. Next thing I know, he punches me twice. Fucking twice in my fucking face. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because he's never hit me before. He's never hit me. Like, we've gotten to arguments where we're, like, pushing or whatever. Like, that's the most. But this nigga just punches me in my face twice. I fall to the fucking ground. And I'm not expecting this. The thing is, I'm not scared of him. Like, it's not okay for any guy to hit a female, but I'm not scared of him. I am not scared of him at all. Like, if I were to see him today, knowing that he would hit me, I would want to fight him. I would really want to fight him. Like, I'm not scared of no guy. I'm not scared of nobody. Fear nobody but God. I'm not even scared of him, and he punches me twice. I fall to the ground. I was not expecting any of this. I fall to the ground. He keeps on punching me to the head. Next thing I know, he grabs a table. Like, I don't have nothing to grab that's like a table. But let's say my phone is the table. I'm on the ground because he hit me in the face. I'm just covering myself and I'm just screaming because I'm not expecting any of this to happen. He grabs a little coffee table and he just starts hitting me with it. He starts hitting me with it in my leg. And that's not cool at all. Like, for a guy to put his hands on me, I'm only 21 years old. Like, I've never, I don't want to cry. I've never expected any guy to put his hands on me. I've never expected any guys. I don't want to cry. I don't want to mess up my makeup. I've never expected any guy to put his hands on me ever. Like, ever. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not fucking scared of nobody. I look crazy right now. I'm not scared of nobody, and he fucking put his hands on me. Like, blood was literally gushing out. I will put pictures in this video for you guys to see what my leg looked like. Blood was literally gushing out of my leg, and I don't know what to do because I'm like, I live with this guy. Like, what do? I'm like, I don't have money to move out, like, right now. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, the only thing I could do at the time was call my dad. I called my dad, told him what happened. I'm like, Dad, this happened or whatever. And I'm like, he hit me. I was like, can I move in with you? He said, yeah, that's fine or whatever. And like, I was just talking on the phone with my dad. I'm telling him about my leg. I'm like, yeah, it looks like blood is gushing out. It looked like meat was gushing out too of my body. Like, I was just telling him. He was like, yeah, you should definitely go to the hospital or whatever. And even the upstairs neighbor, she came downstairs and she was like, oh, yeah, they never had these problems before you moved in or whatever. Like, just kind of trying to blame it on me or whatever. And I understand, like, it was no issue before I moved in, but boyfriends and girlfriends argue. Like, what do you expect? It's not gonna be just like birds chirping me living in here, you know? Boyfriends and girlfriends argue, like, in any relationship. Boyfriend and girlfriends argue, so I don't even want to hear that. And I was just telling her, I'm like, when everything happened, like, I was just telling her, I was like, yeah, like, I should call the police and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know what's gonna happen with me. All of this happened before I even called my dad, like, talking to the lady or whatever. And she was like, yeah, don't call the police or whatever. And it's just like, for her as a female to tell me not to call the police, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, like, to stand up for a guy putting his hands on a female? You know? And I just don't understand that. Like, I really just don't understand that. Like, I don't. And I was just like, he kept on, like, when I was trying to talk to her and stuff like that, he just kept on coming, like, in my face. And he was just like, yeah, like, just talking hella shit and stuff like that. And I'm like, back up out of my face before I call the police. And she was like, don't do that or whatever. Don't call the police or whatever. They're gonna take you too. And I'm like, they can take me all they want to. As long as I know he's in jail, they can take me all they want to. Because I'm just like, I really don't give a fuck at this point. He put his freaking hands on me, like. And the sad part is now, like, now that everything's happened or whatever, like, I ended up going to the hospital. The police came. Like, it was mandatory for them to make a police report. And of course I'm gonna do that because you put your hands on me. I'm not gonna let you walk free, so you can do that to the next female. If you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna make a report. I press charges on him. I don't have a court date yet, but they said the soonest I can go to court is January. So I'll have a court date eventually. I need to call them again to see when it is. But yeah, I'm supposed to be going to court for it. Like, oh, also, I didn't even mention my eye, like, my face was swollen and everything. I actually had broken bones in my nose. But yeah, I forgot to mention, my face was swollen because he had punched me and stuff like that. Like, my eye was, like, kind of red. It didn't really turn, like, completely black. Like, my jaw was hurting and stuff, like, after everything happened. I went to the hospital that night and I had x-rays or whatever. They stitched up my leg, so I still have stitches in my leg because I don't have my medical down, my health insurance down here. But yeah, stitches in my leg and all that. My ear was swollen. I've never even knew ears could get swollen. My ear was swollen as fuck. My eye was swollen and stuff. I have broken bones in my nose still. Like, I have to get my nose fixed. And all of that's going to be paid for from all of that. But yeah, I have, my nose is broken. A detective said, yeah, I can go ahead and get the surgery and everything. I just need to figure out how to go about it. I haven't really been talking to, like, them about that because I've just been so busy with work, and when I'm not at work, I'm not as worried about that kind of stuff. But the thing is, like, sometimes, like, my nose, like, right now, my nose is just, like, hurting. It's not, like, a really bad pain. Like, it's probably on the level from 1 to 10, my nose is at a level 4, but I don't always notice the pain. Maybe it's when I talk, because, like, I notice sometimes when I'm at work, because obviously I'm talking at work, my nose will start hurting. But yeah, I have to get that fixed, and it's just crazy. Like, I was with this guy for freaking 8 years. 8 years, and I would have never thought he would have put his hands on me. Like, even my friends were saying, like, he doesn't even seem like that type of person, and I never thought he would be that type of person. Like, he's the type of person, like, that if you saw him, you would think, like, he's a little punk. And, like, I guess you could say he's not, but then he is, because he put his hands on a female or whatever. But I would have never thought he would have did that. Like, he's literally the same size as me. Like, we damn near weigh the same weight or whatever. Like, that boy can barely pick me up, and I only weigh like 127. I only weigh 127. Who can pick me up? Like, my little sister that's 11, she can pick me up, and he can barely carry me. My little sister can pick me up on her back, but yeah, that boy can barely carry me in his arms. So, like, he's really small, like, if you know what I'm saying. And but what was I about to say? Like, I would never expect him to do that. Like, I would have never expected that. And I sound stupid just saying this. Like, I don't want him to go to jail. If anything, I'd rather him have probation, because I know, like, going to jail can possibly ruin someone's life, I feel like. But now just talking about this little story time, like, damn, maybe he should go. But, like, honestly, like, just leaving it in God's hands, like, God will work things out. Like, I don't really have to stress anymore. Like, I don't live with him anymore, but I am good off of guys. Like, and I'm the type of person, like, I don't like to be alone, so that's the hard part. Like, that's why I was in a relationship with him for so long. Like, I hated being alone, and, like, he treated me like shit in that relationship. Like, thinking back at it, like, I just want to make this video to just say, ladies, be careful, like, and just kind of tell my story, let you guys know, like, what I've been going through, because that whole week of everything happening, my face was swollen, and I didn't want to record any makeup tutorials. Like, if you're not subscribed to me, subscribe. I do makeup tutorials, hair videos, basically a lot of things beauty related. I do want to start doing more story time, so I might start doing those too if you guys like it. Like, after getting out of the hospital, I had to pack up all my stuff, move me and my cat like 2 hours away. It was just too much for me. Like, my face was swollen. I had stitches in my legs. Like, having to walk around like that, I didn't want to be seen. Like, I didn't want to go to stores and stuff like that. Like, I had to have my little sister just go into the store to buy me storage bins, just because I didn't want to be seen like that. And everybody was saying, oh, it's not that bad. Like, I have chubby cheeks. That's probably why it doesn't seem as bad. But I can tell the difference. Like, even in my nose, just doing my makeup and stuff like that, and, like, looking at my nose, like, I can tell there's a slight difference in my nose. My mom was telling me I need to go to therapy, and I was just like, I don't need to go to therapy, I'm okay. But now, just thinking back at it, I think I do need to go to therapy, because it's just like, it's days where I miss him. He actually messaged me, and he was just saying I'm sorry and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear any of that. Like, he was just like, I hope the cat is okay and stuff like that. And honestly, I should have never even responded to him. I had a restraining order on him. It only lasted 8 days, and I didn't get it renewed because I didn't want to drive 2 hours just to get it renewed. So I didn't extend it, but yeah, he messaged me on my old Snapchat. And it's just like, some days I do miss him, like, and that's the bad part about it. And I think I miss him because I miss, like, having company. Like, having someone to talk to when I feel like talking. That was my boyfriend too, so just, like, having someone to flirt with consistently. Like, yeah, I get compliments by other guys, but it's just like, it's not the same when it's not your boyfriend. Like, those other guys don't mean nothing to me. At one point, he meant something to me. Like, that was, I guess you can say, my first love. Like, my first love. And, like, now I'm kind of at the point where I just don't want to be bothered with guys. Like, I don't, like, I want to push for 2 years being single. I don't know if I can do completely 2 years, but the way I just start thinking about it, sometimes it's like, damn, like, if I date a guy for another 8 years and he does the same exact thing to me, or I could be dating a guy for a month and then he turns abusive, you know? And it's, I don't know, it's just like, it's a lot on me, like, dealing with something like that, like, to 2017, like I've had a lot of good, but I've had a lot of bad, like my cat passing away, and then him beating me, and like that was the first time he's ever put his hands on me, and I'm glad I was able to get out of there when I did. But it's just like, damn, like my camera had stopped. But ladies, I just wanted to say, if you're in a situation where a guy just treats you like crap, do not stay with that guy. Like, if he treats you like crap, if you see any of the signs of abuse, if you feel like it's going bad, it's best to just get out of that situation, because some people would just have all that anger built up and they will just fire on you, like literally. Like, that's just how it is, and I think that's what it was. Like, he even said, like, when he apologized to me, he was like, I just had so much anger inside of me, and like I just had to let go. And he was like, I'm sorry, I love you, or whatever. Like, he was just saying, I wish you the best. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to hear any of this. Like, it's just so sad. Like, I'm glad I'm out of the situation. I'm glad I'm not with him anymore. But it's just like, damn, did it really have to come to this? Like, did it really have to come to this? Like, I feel like no relationship should ever come to that. No relationship should ever come to anybody putting their hands on each other, like calling each other out of names. Because like as we started living with each other, we used to never call each other bitches and stuff like that. And then like eventually we just started calling each other bitches. Like, and that stuff is not cool at all. Like, that stuff is out. Like, if you're dealing with a guy and he's calling you out of your name, like he's like plaguing you, like that's just not the guy for you. Like, you shouldn't be with a guy that feels like it's okay to hit you, because you never know where it might go. Like, I'm blessed enough that when he punched me and when he started hitting me with that table, that he didn't start hitting my head with that table and busting it open. Like, God really was with me. Like, I could have made it out of that. I could have never made it out of that situation. Like, he could have beat me to death, literally. And that's just not cool. Like, I don't really know like what to really say to ladies that are going through this situation, because I know like a lot of ladies probably don't have it as easy as me. But it's just like sometimes you just have to let everything go. Like, when everything happened, like I was just so out of everything. Like, I was just like, the only thing I really want to take is my clothes, my cat, and my electronics. Like, all my valuables, that's the only thing I want. Like, I would have been okay with like leaving everything else. Like, I left my dresser, I left my my little chair that I used to do my YouTube videos in, I left that. Like, I'm literally sitting on a container that I packed my clothes in, that still has clothes in here to do my videos. So every time I'm doing my videos, I'm sitting on this just because I need something to sit on to record my videos. Like, I don't have my backgrounds out here with me. Like, I still have stuff in storage. Like, I still have like a lot of stuff in the Bay Area, but I'm just glad I'm out of that situation. But yeah, ladies, like, if you have a guy that's hitting you, just know that it's okay to get out. Like, yeah, you might have to like lose something to get out of that situation, but it's okay. Like, I've met a lady that said she literally left everything and started over, and it's possible. Like, it's literally possible. The reason why I didn't leave out of that situation at first is because it wasn't abusive, for one. And that shouldn't be an excuse too, because if you feel like the situation is bad, you should try to get out of it as soon as possible. And then also, I didn't want to go to a shelter. I have a cat. If I were to go in a shelter, I couldn't take my cat more than likely. So I didn't want to put myself in that situation, but there's always a way out. Like, you may not know what it is, but there's always a way out, especially when you're in a situation. But you shouldn't have to be in that situation to figure out what it is. But yeah, I don't know if I really have anything else to say about this situation. I'm just glad I'm done with it. Guys ain't shit. Most guys aren't. Like, young girls, if you are watching this, like, I'm not saying this video is for young girls, but if you're watching this, don't worry about guys, because they will do nothing but waste your time. The majority of these guys, let's say 95% of these guys play games. They will cheat on you, they will break your heart, and as soon as you break their heart, they want to flip it on you. I don't know, like, being all about these guys is not what's up. Like, it's better to just focus on yourself. That's where I am right now. I'm doing better. Like, I'm doing way better. Like, I'm just blessed to say I have a roof over my head. It may not be what I want it to be, but at least I have somewhere to go. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure to do that.
I wanna sing for you, entertain you, spend some time with you, open up to you, give myself to you, keep it real with you. That's all I really want.